What's going on, guys? Elisha here. Welcome back to Goal. You already know what it is. Yatu Sabe. This is where we talk about everything in the world of football from the past week, and I hope you guys didn't miss me too much. I'm sorry. I know. I couldn't upload last week, but trust and believe I was doing some football-related stuff behind the scenes. So just know, I can't really get into it right now. I can't really tell y'all what it was about. Hopefully one day it could all come full circle and I could really tell you guys what was going on. But just know from now on, it's all consistency all the time. I'm going to be here. Don't worry. But as always, there's a lot of stuff that happened this week in the world of football, so I'm going to get right into all of that right now. We got Champions League, Serie A, Bundesliga, La Liga, all of that good stuff, so let's get right into it. But first, you know I got to do my little magic. All right, so first off, we're starting with the Champions League and Manchester City strolling past Shakhtar 6-0. But that's not the biggest news of this story. It's that penalty that Sterling got. That definitely wasn't a penalty. Now, of course, Sterling tripped. He didn't just fall, he tripped on the ground and he fell. And if you feel like, something tripped you, or even if you don't, as a striker, you fall, whatever. But that was so obviously not a penalty. I don't know how any of the refs didn't see it. And as someone who's been criticized, not that I'm saying that Sterling should be doing things just to look good in the media, but as someone who's been criticized so much, that would have been like so unexpected and such a fair play act for him to be like, you know what, no, I fell on my own. That wasn't a pen. We're beating this team already, whatever, but he didn't do that, and I don't blame him too much for it anyways, but it would have been nice to see. It's been a while since we've seen like a generous act like that in a football game. Anyways, he ended up signing again, extending his contract with Manchester City later that week until 2023. So he's going to be here for a lot more years, for 4 more years, and he's been doing great for them. He was a really good player for Liverpool, didn't really play up to his full potential, and then he moved to City, and with Pep coming in, he's been just on fire, one of their best players by far, and just a consistent starter on the team. So I'm happy to see that he's committed to them and that he's gonna definitely be playing on a top team for years to come. But another contender for the Premier League also, who hasn't been doing too well in the Champions League, Liverpool lost a Red Star club from Serbia 2-0 in the Champions League. Now, Liverpool has had a rocky start this year. Okay, they're still very much contending for the Premier League. We're going to talk about that later. But in the Champions League, after making it to the finals last year, Salah is now consistently scoring goals, but he's not performing like he used to, like he did last season, and especially in the Champions League, Liverpool are kind of on a rocky road. I mean, they haven't been eliminated, of course, but teams like, Barca's the only team that has qualified for the next stage of the Champions League so far. So Liverpool is not out of the question yet. Sometimes you're in a slump, you can definitely come back. But the signs aren't looking good right now for them. Now, let's move on to United beating Juventus 2-1. They were at Juventus Stadium, and things got a little weird. It was an entertaining game for sure, especially when Ronaldo scored the first goal for Liverpool. And you would think, after all these years of playing away, playing at Madrid, and now he's playing against United again, you would think that when he scores against them, he wouldn't celebrate or do anything crazy. But no, went to the Juve fans, lifted up his shirt, showing his abs and doing all that. I don't know how many times we've seen Ronaldo's abs by now. I mean, he models for his own underwear line and all of that stuff. So it's the most Ronaldo celebration you could think of. He just keeps finding new ways of being, this is me and look at me, I'm just that guy. He's scoring against his old team. And also Mourinho had a little taunting himself. I mean, he had the last word. United ended up, of course, winning. But Mourinho said after, in press conferences, when he was asked why he was taunting the fans and showing them his ear and all of that, but that could be seen as he's just messing with them. But he explained that during the whole game that they were just chatting. saying a whole bunch of stuff to him, so he just responded, and that was just his simple way of saying, keep it up. Keep it coming, we won the game. And you really can't blame him for that. I mean, they're going to talk because he's the manager. Doesn't mean he can't have some fun too, okay? People are people. And then let's move on to Inter Milan versus Barca that ended in 1-1 draw. Malcolm, the young 20-year-old Brazilian, scoring his first ever goal for Barcelona. And I'm happy to see that he's getting a shot. He hasn't been playing as much in La Liga, but now, he's played his first game in the Champions League and almost actually won the game for Barca. I mean, Icardi ended up scoring in the last minutes of the game to equalize it for Inter. But if it wasn't for that, if Icardi wasn't Icardi, probably Barca would have won that game and Malcolm would have been the reason why. And he got his first goal. He got a little emotional. Just great to see. It means a lot to him that his first Barca goal came in the Champions League. No matter what team, no matter what stage of the Champions League it is, some people seem to forget that it's the greatest competition in Europe, in European club football, and maybe in the entire world. So people really take that seriously. And a guy who is like, this is his first year in Barcelona, already scoring for them in the Champions League is a big deal. And now let's move on. Speaking of which, to La Liga, Real Betis actually beat Barca 4-3 in La Liga this weekend. And the man that I've been praising for so long now, Ter Stegen, what happened? He was messing up all game long. I mean, that's not fair. He messed up on one or two occasions. For the most part, Barca's defense was terrible, awful. Being a Barca fan, I'm not just going to defend them and make excuses. Their defense was trash. We get that. They're still first, though. They're still first, but there's no excuse for it. They're, a lot of times, especially in the previous games, they've won the games a little close. It's been inconsistent. I mean, Messi just got back, but that doesn't explain the defensive mistakes that they've made. So they need to get that together, straighten that, bring in maybe some new guys. I mean, PK is getting old. I don't know why Umtiti just isn't playing as much as he is. Maybe he might be injured, actually. But he should be. That defense they have people. They're just not, the focus is not there. The consistency is not there. And a lot of the small teams in La Liga this year, it's looking like the Premier League. A lot of these small teams are beating the big teams, and it's very competitive. I mean, the way the table's looking right now, Barca has 24 points. Sevilla, Atletico, and Alaves have 23. And Espanyol is 5th with 21 points, and Real is still 6th with 20 points. So it's really tight right now. These guys can't afford to be slipping up because it could cost them a lot during the later stages of the season. It seems like it's going to be really close this year. But now let's move on to the Bundesliga. The game of this weekend, Dortmund beat Bayern 3-2. Bayern were actually leading. They scored the first goal. Dortmund equalized. Bayern came back again.
Back again. Back to back. Made back. Stack the M.
2-1. And then it just went back and forth from there on. Paco Alcácer ended up scoring the winning goal for Dortmund. This guy, I'm really happy for him. He left Barca. When he was at Barca, I remember when he first came in, this guy was missing so many clear-cut chances. His positioning, everything was on point, but he just could not score to save his life. And thank God that when he was missing those chances, it was when Barca was already winning. So he would come off the bench in later stages of the game. But at some point, he started actually playing and starting when I think it was Messi who was injured, or was it Suarez? But one of these guys weren't in the team at the time. So he was playing and he was missing so many chances, and it was really frustrating. But a lot of times it's not the player that sucks. It's just maybe the environment of the team, or maybe they need just some sort of change to gain some confidence and come back. And maybe he'll come back for Barca, but I'm happy to see him at Dortmund. Dortmund's a top team. I don't see why he would want to leave. I can see him growing there, and they actually have a shot at winning the Bundesliga now, so he should just stay. Just stay over there, learn some German, eat some sausages, some bratwurst, drink a whole lot of beer, and just chill out over there. He's playing well. Seems like it's doing him some good. But now it's looking a lot more evident that Dortmund can actually do this. I mean, they haven't won the Bundesliga since the 2011-2012 season, And since then, they've come second 3 times. So Bayern has been winning it 6 years consecutively. Now it's been time for someone to actually dethrone them. And finally, again, I don't want to call it too early, but it seems like Dortmund has the best chance. I mean, they're 4 points ahead of Mönchengladbach and 7 points clear of Bayern, who are, 6th in the Bundesliga right now. So, and they're playing really strong. Their Royce is in top form right now, which, thank God, because he's been that I word that I don't want to say because I don't want to jinx them. He's been that for a while now, and now he's back. He's healthy, and he's playing great. And now crossing over to Italy in the Serie A, Atalanta serving that 4-piece nugget to Inter, who just drew to Barca 1-1 in the Champions League. What happened? What happened? But now they got served that 4-piece and by Atalanta. Inconsistency. I mean, sometimes also, I won't even blame these teams. Things happen where you feel like you're playing against a team like Barca. They beat you in the first game against them. In the returning game, they just were not having it, so they were making sure that they would beat them or at least share that point. But now they go back to their league and they concede 4 goals. Sometimes football is just crazy, man. You never know what's going to happen on a regular basis. Also, Roma getting that Wendy's, that 4-4 to Sampdoria. Sampdoria, okay, beating them 4-0 in the Serie A. Juventus also, of course, won their game. Of course, because who do they have? Who does Juventus have? The Portuguese man, myth, legend himself, Cristiano Ronaldo. Of course he scored for them. He had to. They beat AC Milan, 2-0 this weekend. Of course, Ronaldo scored, as I said before. This is just too easy for him. This man did it in Portugal. He did it in the Premier League. He did it in La Liga. He did it in the Champions League. He did it in the Euros. And now he's in Italy just steamrolling over these guys. It's incredible. And no, I don't want to hear that it's Juventus. They were already a strong team. Yes, they were, right? But his scoring ability has nothing to do with that. Just stepping onto a whole new team has nothing to do with that. They're doing well in the Champions League. They're doing well in the Serie A also. This guy, and he's a big part of that. He's consistently scoring for them. He's looking top form. This guy doesn't even look his age right now. He's 33. Cristiano. Cristiano's 33 years old. And he looks like he's playing. He's like in his mid to late 20s right now. It's incredible. Like, this guy's in incredible shape. You hear these stories of great players in different sports, like the Kobes and the Jordans, and their teammates are always like, man, I try to go early into training, and Kobe was already there. And, after I left, he was still there. And that's Cristiano. Those are the type of stories that his teammates are telling people about him. Every team he goes to, this guy's work ethic is incredible. And that's why his meals, the way he eats, the way his lifestyle just allows him to be at the top form all the time. And that's just what an all-around athlete does. I mean, you want to be at the top, every aspect of your game has to be on point. That's why it's like he's so... As a human, of course, he's not old, but for footballers at 33, especially offensive players, strikers, it's not likely that you're going to see a guy perform that well at that age, and he's doing it like it's nothing. He's been doing it for a decade now. When is he going to stop? My laptop is slipping. But anyways, now let's talk about the Premier League. Manchester is blue. Is that a chant? I don't know if it's a chant, but...
Manchester is blue. Manchester is blue.
Let me stop yelling in your ears, man. Anyways, Manchester City beat Manchester United 3-1 this weekend, and it wasn't even close. From minute 1 to 90, City just looked like the strongest team on the field. There was at no point where United looked like they were going to do something. Yeah, they scored 1, and it was 2-1, but it just did not look good for them at all this whole game. City was incredible. They're passing the way that Pep has instilled that system. He did it at Barca, did it in Bayern, and now he's doing it for City, where it's just passing is so important. And the fact that every member of the team can be involved in one goal and it doesn't look like an accident. And like you're playing against another top team and it looks like it's just so well calculated and so easy, but it's not. It's crazy to think. That's why, like, when you play, you understand like how dope it is that these guys it's just crazy. Passing from the back all the way to the offense and just nailing that goal. Aguero got himself a goal now with his new silver hair. The whole team just looks amazing. I'm getting scared for Liverpool now. They won their game against Fulham, but which actually makes the Premier League is still, Manchester is first with 32 points, Manchester City. Liverpool is second with 30 points. Salah scored again. He's in form, scoring form right now. But it's still close. Chelsea drew 0-0. So now they've lost some leverage. Liverpool and City are now on top. So it's still close, right? Also, Arsenal drew and Tottenham won their game, which means Tottenham is now fourth. Arsenal's fifth. So it's kind of taking shape now, but the consistent factor is that City and Liverpool are both still on top. Again, I'm not changing my mind. I still think Liverpool got this. Liverpool are going to win the league. I still believe it. I'm not losing faith. I'm standing by my word. And now we're going to go all the way to South America for Boca Junior against Riverplate. Boca Junior against Riverplate. Liverplate? 2-2. It's the final of the Copa Libertadores, and I don't know why they're playing it in two legs. Usually a final is just one game, but it's two legs for this. Like, that rivalry between these two teams is incredible. It's so intense. And the fact that they're meeting now in a final, like that second leg, police, everybody, the security around the stadium, everyone, it must be top notch. Because if whoever wins, there's going to be trouble. There's going to be noise. There's going to be fights. All of that stuff, flares, gonna go crazy. There won't be a shirt in sight. There's all bearing it all, tattoos and face paint. I know it's gonna be crazy. I wish I would be there. That's gonna be on the 24th this month. 24th November is gonna be the second leg of the Copa Libertadores final between Boca Junior and Riverplate. So you don't wanna miss that. Stay tuned for that. It's gonna be crazy. But that's pretty much it for all the football stuff. This upcoming week is going to be international break. So for most of the teams, like the South American teams, they're going to be playing friendlies, European, with the whole Nations League thing. So they made that a lot more competitive. So it's not just friendlies for European teams. They're actually competing for a trophy that's going to be, the final is going to be in 2019. Sometimes mid-2019, so stay tuned for that. That's it. I actually like it, the fact that they're making it competitive. It makes it a lot more entertaining, and some guys, and you don't have to just miss club football when you can actually watch real competitive football when these guys go on their international break. But that's what you guys should be looking forward to this week. Also, some new content coming down on this channel this week. No slacking. Consistency is what we doing out here. No more missing no videos. I promise. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like. But if you didn't, you know, drop a dislike. It's okay. It's okay. But make sure you let me know why in the comments below. Also, make sure you check out the music and the social media in the description. And I'll see you guys next time on Goal. Peace.